Okay, I'm audible correctly. Let me check. Hello, all. Okay, I'm not yet going to YouTube. Hello, all. I am not going to YouTube yet. Let me check. Okay, hello. Let me check whether I'm live on YouTube or not. Hello, all. I think I am live now. Okay, sometime I have to see it and see it in another screen also. Okay, so we are going to start and end with hooks today. So today is the final day. So let us do quickly my setup and all. And let me share my screen. Yeah. So one sec. Let me do some setup quickly. Yeah, so yeah, I have created one new project with npx create react app hooks so that we can save some time because I'm going to show in that. Then let me quickly one sec. So we are going to first look into hooks. So what are hooks? Hooks are something which were introduced in React React version 16.8 in the mid of 2020 because everybody was facing some problem with the class-based concept, and the React was also facing some problem with class-based concept. And you see, hooks have made React very easy. Okay, so that is there. So and the two major hooks are use effect hooks and the use state hooks, because there are two things which are missing from your functional component, which is state and lifecycle container. Now both of them are there, so there is no use to use the class based concept, which are complicated also. And in React also tells us that if you're going to start a new project today, please start with your functional component, because now functional component have all the superpowers of the class based component. So that is there. So let us get started. And because we have a lot of things to cover, but see, hooks is so small that I'm doing it in one day. Okay, so 3 days were done in class based. It's okay. So cd hooks, I'll go and I'll open it with VS code, open in some other window. And so it's a new project, a npm start. And start. Okay, so you can open the thing here. Okay, so as I have told earlier, these hooks now have all the classes functionality. So the first functionality which you are going to see is the state, how to add states in this. So let us see that how to add a state in a functional component. Okay, and how I teach is like let me first create a class based component, then I'm going to convert it into state. Okay. So here I will go in the src, I will write a new components folder. A new components folder is there, and in this components folder I'll first make a class counter. Why class counter? I'm going to convert it into hooks. Okay, so class, first we're going to see the concept of how to have a concept of a state in a functional component. So class counter dot js, and then it is a class base, so it will be rce shortcut export. I'll and make it a bit bigger so that everybody is able to see. So that is there. And let us quickly make this class based component. So r const, and here we're going to have some state here. Okay, so that state will be count of 0. Hope I'm like sounding correct today. Okay, so that is there. Now we'll have a state. Okay, have here. So simple count this was seen a lot of time. Okay, so not nothing special, but the special will come soon. Okay, button is there, and in the button will be count is this dot state dot count, and let us show this thing in the app.js. So I'll come to the app.js, and app.js I will remove all the things, and then I will have a class counter like this. Logo also I'll remove, cut it, save it, and see like this class counter count variable is there. So that is okay. So this count I can increase on the click of the button. This count 0 that will increase. So let us do that. Okay. One sec. One sec. I want to check something. See whether it is getting cut. My video is looking perfect. Okay, so that is good. Okay, so that is there. Let me see if someone is telling something now. So okay, so this dot state dot count is there, and now I want to increase it. So I will do a on click equal to directly the set state thing. I will say this is like this, and this dot set state count is this dot state dot count plus 1. So like this it is there. Save it. Now if I go here, and the count will increase. Now this all things we have seen. Okay, now we're going to convert it into a hook base. So I will come here and do a hook counter dot js, hook counter dot js, and it will be RAFCE hook counter dot js, and then okay, so the first thing, how to have the state here. So to have the state, and here what we are going to do, what React team had done, they created some custom hooks. Okay, and let me write this const count comma set count equal to use state. Okay, so like this use state is like imported. Okay, use state, see you're seeing the use state is like here imported. So this is what the use state is all about. Use state is will be imported like this. Okay, so that is there. Okay, and from React, and count and set count, what are they? Let me write the complete thing, then I will explain. And this is known as array destructuring, and we taught it a lot in the our JavaScript classes. Okay, so this div I will do now, and then bit of button, and hook count is count, and there is no this keyword here. One of the main thing on click is equal to like this, and set count is count plus 1. Okay, so I'll save it, and now what will happen here, I will also have the hook counter like this. I'll save it. Now see what is there. If I come here, hook count is also increasing fine. So means the state is working fine. But how is it working? So how is it working? So if I come here, see this code and this code is so less. Like let me open it side by side. Okay, so it is a bit smaller screen, so that is okay. First thing is that this is the array destructuring count and set count array destructuring. This count is equal to 0. This is somewhat equal to this, and there is no this dot set, this dot state and constructor. But there is one positive thing here, that this dot state is a object here that we'll see later on. And here it can be anything. So in this case it is a 0, means in this case it is a count is equal to 0, but this is totally different than this. Here it was a key value pair of an object, so that is okay. And then what is happening there, to change the state we have something known as this dot set state. So that thing is not there in the hook. In hooks what is there, there is set count is there, which is equivalent to set state, but its name is not fixed, it's not a keyword. Yes, set count was a generic function, it can be used in anything. Like if I have some another variable, like which soon we are going to have name like this state variable, then also it would be changed to set state. Okay, but here what will happen, suppose I have a name variable name, so its name will be name set name, and it will be like this, that name, and it will be like this. Okay, so that is there, and put it. So this is how easy it is. No this keyword, nothing. Even this set count is much more easier. Here we have to do pass a object and all those things, so all those things you don't have to do. So that's the reason people love hooks. Okay, so that is there. So now the next thing which we are going to do, we are going to see a previous state. Hello 𝐏𝐚𝐫𝐭𝐢𝐜𝐚𝐫. Okay, so we'll see a previous state thing. Okay, so we'll see a previous state, new state with previous state. Okay, so previous state thing we have seen I think in class also, so let us see here also. Okay, so for that what I'm going to have hook counter 2.js, and here I will have a RAFCE, just a new class hook counter 2, and here I'll have a const initial count equal to 0, and const count comma set count is use state. Again I have to import it, and initial count is like this. Okay, so that is there. Now I will come here and do a remove it one count is count. Okay, then we will have a button here, and this button is reset. This button is increment, and this button is decrement, and this button I will have a on click equal to set count of initial count, and on click equal to set count is count plus 1. So this is not the main thing. The main thing will be like this is the normal thing, so we can do it like this. So a bit of an example, so like this it is there, and then I will have the remove these things. Hook counter 2 like this, it's there, and I'm doing this also, save it. Now if I go back here, see, increment is working, decrement is working, reset is working, so all of them are working fine. So now let us have another thing here, which is like the a button which button button which will be increment 5, not 6, increment 5, and this kind of thing which you have seen in the class base also, increment 5. And one thing, attendance will be given at the end. Today is the last attendance, so please fill it. On click is equal to increment 5. So this is a function increment 5. So I will go here and const increment 5 equal to like this. Then for let I equal to 0, I is less than 5, I plus plus, and set count is count plus 1. So just a simple for loop. I'm not using that. I'm running it for 5 times, and we know what will happen like at this time. In classes also we had this problem. See, in React, what happens if you set the state very fast, it does a performance optimization, and it will like this all will is working fine. This all is working fine, but this see, only one time it will increase. So this problem we have seen in the class base also. This is the React performance optimization, because React thinks something is wrong, but we know something is not wrong. So what we are going to do, so here in this set count we are going to come, and here we are going to do a priv state is priv state plus 1. Previous state is previous state plus 1. So I'll save it, and now if I go back, and this increment is working fine. See, increment 5 is also working, and reset is also there. So this is how it is there. It's working fine. So now the next thing which we are going to do, see, there is a issue with using this kind of thing like use state. Not an issue, but the thing which you need to do when we do a class, the this dot state is an object, so there is a benefit of it, and we're going to see this is a special case which we have to take care of if we use what, if we use a use state. So this is not an error, but this is something which you need to take care. So I'll come here in the components, I'll do a hook counter 3.js, and then RAFCE, and then here const name comma set name equal to use state, and first name is like this, comma last name. See, it's an object, and in the object we have a key value pair, two key value pair. So the main thing to understand is that it's an object. Okay, so now what will happen, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to come here, and this return I'm going to have a form, simple form I'm going to have. Then I'll go here, and then I'll do a input type is text, value is equal to name dot first name, and on change is equal to set name is first name is dot target dot value. Okay, so like this, and I will copy paste it, and this will be last name, and the other thing will be like what will be the first name and last name. I want to print it. So first name is name dot first name, last name is the name dot last name. And actually here there will be an issue, so I'm going to tell one more trick. If I want to see the value of name printed on the DOM, there is a way in which I can do that. Console.log doesn't works under inside the return statement. Okay, so what we are going to do here, let me show. H2 is JSON dot stringify. So this is JSON the stringify will make anything stringify. Okay, make anything as a string. So name I'll do. I'll now save it. Now I will go back here. Okay, so it is, I'm not even showing this thing. So I'll come here and do a hook counter 3, I'll do cut it, save it. Now I'll go back. See, this will be shown like this. Okay. Now, so my whole name has been shown like this in the this is done because of the JSON.stringify. So let us now do it. Okay, write something here. Bindu. I'm writing. See, the last name is gone away. So when I'm writing the last name, first name is gone away. So why it is happening like this? Okay, it is happening like this. See, again the same thing. Because by default, in the use state, the uh, merging of the object is not done. This dot state by default is a object, so the merging and updating is done by default there. But we have seen the use state can be anything, so the merging is not done. So how do we work here? So in this, if we have an object, what we do, we use the spread operator, and then we'll do a dot name comma, and here dot name comma I have to do. So this is the destructuring I'll do. Now what will happen? Let me go back, and now let me refresh once. Now see, Nabindu, I'll do the last name is also remaining. Sauce, I'll do the first name also. So this is the spread operator. What it does, whatever is there in the name, so some value will be there. It will keep spreading it. So this is spread operator. Again, we taught this in JavaScript. Please go through your JavaScript classes and you will understand this thing. Okay, so that is it. So use state hook is done. Now the second most important thing, which is the use effect hook. And as I've told whenever I was teaching the class base, that I'm going to cover the lifecycle methods again, and we are going to do some practical example. So what React team had found out, only 3 lifecycle methods are very important: component did mount, component did update, and there is another lifecycle method known as component will unmount, which we have not covered but we will cover. But the most important lifecycle method was a component did mount and component did update. The other lifecycle method like should, component update, all those things, they have not brought it to your functional component. But then also functional component did some bit of a different thing. Every lifecycle method is not a function here. Every lifecycle method is used through something known as a use effect, again a hook. So let us understand that how to do that. So I will come and we'll go back to our class counter will go back. Okay, so again this class counter, actually I'm going to show here class counter, right? Save it, and the class counter with that count will be shown. But now what I want to do, I want to show the count here also. Where you're seeing this React app, I want to show the count here. So how to do that? So to do that, what I need to do, I need to there is a thing known as document.title. By that you can show it. So but I have to show it once the state is updated. So state is updated and DOM is been loaded. What is known as DOM is been loaded. So best place to show it is the component did mount. So I'll do a component did mount, and we're going to change this to a hook based also. Okay, then so that is the main thing. Document dot title equal to, and I will change a bit here. Instead of the count, I will write click this dot state dot count times. Okay, so this dot this is like this. Clicked dollar this dot state dot count times, and I will save it. Now let us see what is happening here. See this, clicked 0 times, it is coming here. And component did not, as we know, it runs after the first under DOM has been loaded in the mounting phase. But see, I want that it to be increased. If I click it, it is increasing, but it is not increasing because from the second time onwards, the component did mount and the constructor doesn't run. So what to how to fix it? As we have learned, and from the second time onwards, what runs? Component did update, right? So I will do a, let me copy this thing. Like it will be same like this only. So component did update and priv tops comma priv state will be there, and document title click this many times is there. So we'll go back here. Now again we refresh it for some time and see it is also increasing. So means when the updating phase is coming, in the updating phase we have learned that updating phase component did update runs, not the component did mount, not the constructor runs, component did update runs, and this component did update will keep on running and it will increase. So that's why the component did update is also important. So now we are going to change this, we are going to change this to a hook. And where is my hook counter? Okay, so we're going to change it to a hook. So in hook what happens, there is a hook known as a use effect hook. Okay, so that we used it in 5 different configuration, and in those 5 different configurations what happens, different types of things will different types of lifecycle methods can be used. Okay, so first thing is that I'll do a use effect. So this is like this. Again you have to import it, use effect. Okay, then this I'll do and document, why I'm writing it. So I'll bring it from here. Document title. There is no this keyword and there is no state. Directly the count and hook count clicked. Like this I will have clicked whatever it is there. So that is there. Now I will go to this here and I will do the hook counter. Counter I'll do, cut it, save it, 1 sec, and then okay. So now I will go here, click hook count is, I will refresh it also, and both of those things are happening. Use, it means component did mount is also happening, component did update is also happening. How it is happening? So as I've told, the use effect is a replacement of all the lifecycle method. So in the, and it is like done like this. Inside the use effect we have a function, and it is in the most basic setup. It is actually a combination of these 2 things: component did mount and component did update. Component did mount and component did, it's a combination of these 2 things, this hook counter. Component did mount and component did update. So now that is done, but the use effect doesn't end here. Use effect is one of the biggest thing to teach, and let us do that. So use effect is like the next kind of use effect we're going to see is the conditional use effect. In React, performance optimization is a very big thing. So again, first we're going to see it here. Suppose we are going to have a name is like this, string. Okay, now okay, I will also have 2 3 console logs because we really we know component did mount. Okay, component, okay, let's have it. What's the big deal, because I mainly need it in the component did update. Okay, so component did mount called. Okay, so that is there. Now here I'll do a clg. What is this? Something weird. CLG. Okay, so let us have updating document title. Updating document title I'll have, and here I'll have this input box, input type text, value is equal to this dot state dot name, and on change equal to e is this dot set state, and name is e dot target dot value. Name is e dot target dot value. Okay, so that is there, and so these 2 things are there, and I'll bring the class counter again. We'll go back here and I'll refresh it. So this is coming. Oh, why it is not showing? I've not saved it. There's no class counter. Now have this also. So I will inspect and I go to the console. See, component did not called has been called. So that is okay. But now I will click here. So updating document title is coming. Okay. Updating document title is coming. So that is okay. But if I come here and write something here, so then also this updating document title is coming. It should not have come. Why? Because it will come at this time, but we should not get it because component did update is only for the title. It is not for the name. So name is nothing to do it with it. It is only updating the document. So this is a problem with React, and this is a problem in big projects. Okay, big projects, this is a problem because it is running unnecessarily. So how to optimize it? To optimize it, what we need to do, in this component did update, so there is a bit more trick here than the hooks. That's why people love hooks. Here I will have to use a previous state. So I'll do a if state dot count is not equal to this dot state dot count. This is state dot count. Then like this we'll have okay. Okay, so updating document title, I have put it inside this previous state dot count is not previous state I'm using. See, now I will come here, refresh it again. This is coming. This I'm increasing, it is increasing. See, these numbers are coming. But if I write something here, it will not come. Okay, why it will not come? Because right now what I'm doing here, like previous state dot count is we keep track of previous state. Previous state dot count is not equal to this state dot count. So when the count increase, the previous state maybe in this case like it is like I'm clicking it. So 11 is the current state and 10 is the previous state. So that's why the it is running. But when I write something inside the name, inside this the previous state and the current state are same. So that's why it will not increase. That's why it will not run. So this is how we do performance optimization here. So now we are going to look how to do the performance optimization here. For that, first thing is that we should have the name. So let me go and do a const name comma set name is equal to use state and empty like this is there. Now again I will have a clg use effect and treating document type. Actually first day we had some issues, so today we have to do a bit more, I think. Okay, so I had to end quickly. That sound issues were there. Input type equal to text, value equal to name, and on change equal to e is set name is e dot target dot value. Okay, so like this we have. Now I'll save it. I'll go. I have to do the hook counter here again. I will cut it and save it, and I will refresh it. So it is coming, and this is also increasing, and this is also increasing. So again the same issue, but here we can solve it in a much more easier way. No like previous state or something. So React team also knows that this kind of things are there. So we just have to come here and do a array we have to give, and we have to give the count. So whatever the variable, whatever the state variable on which we want the use effect to change, we have to put it there. So I will put the count. Now I will go back. Now I will cut, and now I will refresh. This I'll do. It is increasing. Now write something and it is not increasing anything. It is not increasing. So because I've given this, so it means that use effect will only update when the count is updated. So this is a very important trick which we do in bigger project. What happens? We don't have one or two states in a file. We have generally like this. Okay, so like maybe age set age initial age is like 816. So I want it to be changing on only this count and name, not age. So I will give this com, and this is a very common scenario in big production projects. Okay, so that is like this. Okay, so this is how we can do it. Okay, so let me put it this then and save it. So this is done. Use effect is not yet done. We have a lot more in use effect, and enough of this counter example. We're going to see a different kind of example. We're going to have continue with this, and there are two other ways of use effect. We are going to see one thing. Okay, so here I'll come and we'll again have a class based first. So we'll have a class mouse dot js, and then we'll have a rce, then export. I will cut, and then I will have a r const, and here I will have a x is 0, y is 0. This two will have, then render return is there. This will be h1. I'll write x is this dot state dot x, y is this dot state dot y. So these two things we're going to have. Now there is a thing through which we can change the x and y position. So this class mouse, let me first have this class mouse here. This class mouse is there, so I will have come here and do a class mouse like this. I will cut it, save it. Now if I go it, the class mouse x and y have been shown, so that is okay. Now what I'm going to have here, uh, I want the mouse position to be tracked, means the x and y are 0, it should be changed. So for that we have client x and client y. Let me write the code first. But we want to have an event listener, but that event listener should run only once. So that is the thing. Okay, someone is asking something. Okay. So this is not to give answers to a lot of things. And if you want to do Python, then what we are going to do? If you know HTML, CSS, then from Python, what you are going to do? Python is not used for anything, and there are not jobs also in Python. Okay, so come to my tomorrow's class, and then I will tomorrow's workshop. So this is not to solve all those doubts. Python is like a hobbyist language. It is not used for anything. And if you want to do data science, if you want to become a scientist, that then do PhD and then do Python. Python is not even used in backend. Backends are also used in Munstack, Node.js. They're made in Node.js. They're made in Java. Python is used nowhere. So what we are going to do with Python? Like, I don't know from where people get this weird kind of thing, and like they don't know what is happening in the industry. Python is nowhere used. Okay, so this dot. Okay, so let not get sidetracked. So Python is not used anywhere. Even if you have React in your like 2 3 project of React in your resume, you will easily get a job. Okay, at least an internship you'll get. Python will get nothing. Okay, so this dot log mouse position I have done, and then this dot log mouse position. So what is this? Even window dot add event listener. Window dot add event listener is, and before React you need to know JavaScript. Okay, so that is it. So window dot add event listener. This event listener is like a we know what is a event listener. Like from JavaScript it comes this event listener. This will be keep on listening for events. So mouse move, it will keep on listening for the mouse move, and when the mouse move will happen, this will run this function log mouse position. So I'll come here and then log mouse position, and then then this, and then this dot set state, and x is dot client x, comma y is dot client y. Okay, so that is there, and save it. And now I'll go here. Okay, one more thing I want to do here. I want to do some console logs here, clg, and pass mouse log mouse position, clg pass mouse component did mount. So these two things I want to have. So the main thing to notice here is that component, why I'm using component did mount, because I don't want the event listener to fire 100 times. I want it to fire only one time. The moment it fire one times, this dot client text is like that dot target dot value, something like that, dot target dot value. Okay, it is like that. Not like that, like we have a thing like that, like we have access. Actually it gives you the exact position of x and gives you the exact position of y. So we'll come here and see this class mouse component amount is 5. Now I'll go here and see this is keeps on firing. This is keeps on firing, and this is keeps on increasing. This is keeps on increasing. This is keeps on firing. So why this is coming? I am getting this 2 times. I think, and there is sometime in React nowadays. What is happening? This index.js have this thing you have to remove. This is no strict mode, but this thing you have to remove. I think so far that is coming. That is there. See, now it is firing, getting only one. So this is keeps on firing, and this is keeps on increasing. Why it is keeps on increasing? See, this dot client x and dot client y is there. So even a bit of it change. So this dot set state will fire. Will change that, and when we know when this dot set state is fired, the render will run. So this is how it is done. And we only need the component did mount. We don't need the component did update, because I don't want the event listener to fire 100 times. Okay, so that is it. So now how to do it in the functional component? So we do that. So here I will come and do a hook mouse dot js, and then rafce mouse. This I'll go, and then I'm going to first convert the same thing here. So const x comma set x is equal to use state 0. And again, one more thing, the front end doesn't understand anything else HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So Python and on, there is one backend language known as Django and Flask in Python. That is a backend language, and that is also such a crap language that it gives a pain to startup. So nobody uses that. It's a hobbyist language, so nobody uses that. Flask and all. Your project will get like crazy. Like if you use that thing, it will be very slow. So nobody uses that. Django and Flask. So they are two backend things. So backend, I think backend, you know what is backend. So front end browser doesn't understand anything else than HTML, CSS, in JavaScript. Okay, so that is there. So const x and const y is I am doing. Now I will come here, and here I'll do h1, and then this is hook. X is x, comma y is y. Okay, why it is outside, I don't know. Why is why. Okay, so this is so easy to okay. So now how to have something like this component did mount here. So first let us have this use fact here like this. Then I'm going to have clg hook use effect called. Then we'll have the same thing here, window dot this I'm good, Aman. But we don't have the this keyword in your function component. Okay. Now I want this use effect to run only once in the component did mount way. If I run it like this will run two times, like component, not hundred of times. Like component did update also it will run. The moment the state is updated in the, it will also run at that time. So it will fire a lot of event listeners, and that will be a very big memory leak, and our program will break. So I want this to be run only once. So what I'm going to do, this is a very important thing. I'm going to have an empty array here. This empty array means this use effect will run only once in the component did mount way. Exactly like this. Only component did mount way it will run. So that is there. So now I will come here and do a const is log mouse position equal to e, and here we'll extend a bit today. So first day we had some problem, so that's why we have to close it soon. So set x e dot client x and set y is e dot client y. So these two things we are going to do. See now, also let us have some console logs here. CLG, okay, hook mouse, lock mouse position. I'll save it and I'll go here, cut it, and I don't have even this thing, so I'll go here and do a hook mouse like this and cut it, save it. Now I'll come in. Let me refresh it now. Okay, so hook use effect is called. Then after this, log mouse position is called only one time. So hook use effect is called. So that is the main thing. Like it is how this is done. This empty bracket is very important. Now we are going to learn one more type of use effect, which is like use effect with cleanup. So what is that? So first again we're going to do it with the class days. Now we are going to have one new component known as a mouse container.js we're going to have, and again this mouse container will be just RAFCE functional. So I'll come here and do a mouse container, not the class mouse or something. So in the mouse container what will happen, we will, it's a simple functional component. We'll have a state variable like const display comma set display equal to use state and true, then this return, this is there, then button is toggle display, and here I'll have on click equal, okay, on click equal to set display, and it will be not of display, not of display, so it will be opposite. So initially it will true and it will make it opposite. So that is there. Now what I'm going to have, based on the display, I will show the class mouse. I'll show the class mouse and save it. So this class mouse is there. So class mouse, I have all the logs and all are there. So I will go here. I will, okay. So this see this class mouse log my position is calling. But the moment I do the toggle display, what is happening? That component is gone. That class mouse component is gone. In React term, we say that is unmounted. That should be destroyed. In Java term, we say it is destroyed. Okay, but it is actually not destroyed. See, still the class mouse log mouse position is running. Means the event listener is still there. So what React does? This React gives us another thing, which is another lifecycle method which you have not seen earlier in a class-based component, which is known as component will and mount. And in this, have a CLG first. uh, class class mouse unmounting code I'll have. Then what I'm going to do here, there is something known as a remove event listener also. So I will add the remove event listener. Attendance I'll give it some time because today we are going to extend. So remove event listener is there. Okay. So now I'll come here and go here and I'll refresh it now. Now this class mouse component in mount is there. Now this log mouse position is running, and the moment I do the toggle display, class unmounting code is run. But I'm not getting the, this is not yet not increasing, means this is completely destroyed. So this is how we do it here. Okay, this is how we do it here in a class based. Now the same thing in hook based. How do we do it? Hook based, what happens, there is no, anyways there are no functions here. Okay, so here there is a special thing which is like return like this, and then we have actually this thing. Okay, so this is mouse unmounting code. There is no this keyword, so I'll remove this, save it. Now, okay, so I didn't show the issue there. Okay, the issue is same there also. Okay, so hook mouse, I'll save it. So I'll come here, see, refresh it. Hook use effect is called, it is coming. The moment I do a toggle display, it will go away. Hook mouse unmounting code, and it will not come here. So this is how we do in the hook also. But hook inside the use effect, we have a special kind of return. This means it is the component will unmount kind of a code. Okay, so that is there. So now we have done this also. Now we're going to do into a very important thing, which is like how to fetch data from an API endpoint in your functional component. And for that we use the use effect. Okay, let me open like the earlier code, like my app which was seen in the last 3 days, and I will open post list. Okay, post list I'll open. In this post list you will see we have done like the API call with component did mount and then and an async of it. Okay, and we, as I told, we can do it with the then and catch block also, that you find it out how to do it. And like fetch, we have something, fetch is inbuilt. We have something known as Axios. Axios is something which you have to install. It's a small package which you have to install, and the code is much more simpler. And now we're going to actually change the same thing into like how to do it inside a, from a hook, from a function component with hooks. And we could have done fetch API with like the same kind of a thing. Okay, so why not do the, okay, let's do the fetch API only for consistency. Okay, let's do the fetch API, not Access. You can find it out how to do it because both of them are equal. Okay, so that is there. Let me do it like this only. So I will cut it, come in the app. I'll do a post list.js, and it will be RAFCE. So we're going to hit the same endpoint we're going to hit. So we have to take here, we were taking this dot state empty array post. So but here what we're going to do, here we have a use state. So here I have to do a const post set post equal to use state, like this we'll have, and the use effect. Okay, use effect we have to use, because we have to use the use effect in the component did mount way to because we always do the API call with the component did mount way only. So I have to give a empty array. This is the component did mount way. But now how to do this all? Okay, so let me copy this thing. Okay, so the problem here is that async, we cannot make this function as async. Here we have made the component did mount as async, but we cannot make this function as async because this is not a function. This is inside the user effect, there is another function. So here there is a bit of different is there. So we have to create a function inside it. So something like this const any function name you can give fetch post is there, and then this, and I'm going to make this function as async. Then I will do it. I can do it like this. We are done. And instead of this this dot set state, what I'm going to do, set posts is equal to posts, just like this. This is much more simpler. And then again, we're going to actually do the same thing, like the return. I will send it here. But for this, I need to have this post item. We have not, this post item was a simple class which was taking everything and showing it. So I have to create it. So I'll go here and no, wait a sec. Let me have this post item two times. One is the JS, one is the CSS. Post item dot JS and post item dot CSS is there. So I'll go and this I will paste it here, and I'll go and this I will paste it here, save it, save it, save it. So it will, anyways it will give some error. I will import it, save it. So now if, and here one more good thing is there, I don't even have to have a this dot state like this destructuring thing, because by default states are called. Oh, it will not work because this fetch post, it will not work if you come here. So nothing will be shown. Anyways, it will not be shown because I have not even taken the post list. So post list I'll do, but it will not show. There is an error here. Okay, save it. So nothing will be shown. So the reason is that when we use like this, inside the async await, we have to use the fetch post. We have to call this fetch post, which can be anything like this. We have to call it. I'll save it. Now, see, I'm getting all the 100 things. There are total 100. So I'm getting all the 100. The styling is coming from the post item. Okay. So all the 100 post I am getting. So that is there. Now, okay, so let me do one thing. There are only two more topics are left, which will be not another 10 minutes it will take, but let me give the attendance form. Okay, so last attendance. Okay, day 4 attendance is like this. Let me give it in LinkedIn also, because some people see from LinkedIn also. So, and LinkedIn it doesn't goes from here. Okay. Day 4 attendance is like this. So I've given here also. Okay, so that is there. Now we have two more small topics which are remaining, which I want to do, and let us do those things. So one another thing which is remaining, because I want to complete the hooks. Okay, we face some issue on the day one, so we have extended. Okay, so here if you see, we are going to look into the concept of context API now. Context API is the concept is almost similar. Like this, we have provider and a consumer, and why we do this it because we want to pass some data directly from the app component to the maybe the, so in the app component is connected to a grandparent, which is nothing, which is calling the parent, and the parent is calling the child, and the child is the main thing which is there. So that is there. Here we have done it in the user context. There is something in the user context in which we have created everything. But we can do this context API in, you see the most of the concept will be like saying, this context API, we can do it in your app.js also. So let us see that thing, and let us, the concepts will be exactly like the same. Let us first get the child, parent, and the grandparent class. So we'll go here in the component, I'll do, and I'll do a child.js. It is RAFCE, and here I'll do, and child is okay. Then I will have a parent.js, RAFCE again, and this parent will call the child like this, save it, and then I will have a grandparent.js, RAFCE, grandparent, it will call, and no, grandparent will not call the grandparent will call the parent, PARENT, the parent it will call. So like this we have a structure, and now the app.js will call the grandparent. Okay, so that is there. So, and I will see the child finally. So if I want to pass some data from this app.js to the child, through props, I have to pass like from grandparent to parent to child. This is known as prop reeling. We don't want to do this, so we use context API in its place. So in the class based, we have done the context API here, which basically have a provider and a consumer. But we can do it from the app.js also. Most of the time you'll see in production product, but they'll do from app.js. And yesterday I was seeing some Dan Abramov's YouTube some post that you should not use Redux nowadays, and you should use context, maybe context API. Those who don't know, Dan Abramov is the father of ReactJS. He's like one of the most popular person on the planet. Okay, because ReactJS is the most popular library on the planet right now. Okay, so that is the, except Google, everybody uses this thing. So like this YouTube and all, they uses Angular, again a JavaScript thing. Someone was asking that Python thing. It is not like that. Every other web app out there, every other web app, small to big, it uses React. From LinkedIn to Facebook to everything else out there. Okay, so enough of talk. Now this talk I will do later tomorrow. Okay, so here we are going to use the context API. So how do we use the constant context API? So here we'll do like similar to there, export const user context is equal to react dot create context like this. And I have even don't have a react for this, and I will have a IMR, import react from here. So as here I have to wrap everything like with the user provider like this, but I am like directly doing it here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come here and do a user context dot provider like this. I'll have like this. I'll cut it, and then value equal to Nabindu. So this is a keyword. So the thing is that the provider and consumer part, the first part is exactly similar to what we have it here. So the child, so the problematic render props is still there. But so let us see. And but the second solution which we have in a class based and in a hook based is much more easy. There is a use context hook is there. Okay, so that is there. So I will come here, and instead of this I will have a user context dot consumer. So user context dot consumer I'll have done. So this is the problem we have here. So the thing is that this user, this will be like this only. So this is how we get the data which is passed, and this user can be anything. Okay, this can be anything. So if I save it, I will get the data which is Nabindu here. So Nabindu is coming. So this way is a bit tougher. If you have more thing, it will be even become tougher. But the easier way here we have seen in the parent, which is like the context. But it is also not that easy. A lot of boilerplate code is there. A lot of keywords are this is keyword, this is keyword, this is keyword, this is keyword. But with your there is a hook known as again a hook known as a use context hook, which made it very easy. So I'll come to the parent and do a const user, and this can be anything equal to use context user context like this. The context is done. Now I can directly use it. Okay, like this child will be there. Now h1 use context is like just like the user. I can directly use it like this. I'll save it, and if I go, I can directly use it. So this is how it is, and this is how easy it is. So that is there. We're going come to the last topic now, which is the use ref hook. Actually, the use ref hook is quite similar to the create ref, and I'm not going to say why we use refs. You can go back to the class based, and you can is alternate approach which React says not to use that much. Only in cases like this where we have something related to DOM, we should use it. But because of this, the code becomes quite more simpler. So this refs demo, we are going to use it again. So I'll come here and do a component. I'll do a refs demo.js, but this will be RAFCE functional component. So I will come here and form. I will do return form. I'll do Control Shift P. Form is there. So the concept, as I've told, concept is quite similar here also. Only instead of this dot user ref, I will have a user ref hook. So it is like to come here, and there is no thing like that. Const use ref user ref equal to use ref is a hook. Quite confusing, but user ref can be anything. Okay, it is not like this. And then another one is this comment ref. Const comment ref equal to use ref like this is there. Okay, so that is there. Because it's a functional component, we cannot have this keyword and this. See, everything else is like same here. Like ref is like this, and I will save it. And this handle submit, even this, let me have this handle submit also. This handle submit, let me have this component demand also. I will say one more thing here. Okay, let us write the complete code. So anyways, component demand is not there, and it is also telling me an error. And handle submit, I have to give a const here, and instead of this command, I will have a this remove because this is not there here. So again, we need to get the value like this. And instead of component demand, what I'm going to have, I'm going to have a, let me, maybe I will use effect. Use effect in the component did mount way. So I'll do a comma here and this, and it and put it. There is no component did mount in a functional component, so I will have this thing, and I will save it. Now I'll come here, and maybe I'll comment this out so that you people can have it. So I will comment it out, and then I will come here, and then I will have a fs demo, fs demo. Save it. Now I'll go here and see. this is coming fine. I will go here, write it. This is done, and I'll submit it, and both of the things are coming fine. So this is always working. And even one more thing, see, by default this is blinking there, so that is means our this is also working. Use effect, this focus thing, this is also working. So yeah, so with this we have completed the complete React. So today it took a bit more time because we on first day we there was some issue with my microphone, so there was some disturbance, so I didn't did a lot of things, so I have to stretch a bit today, so like a lot. So thank you all for attending. Those who filled all for attendance form, they will get the certificate by Sunday. Sunday night they will get. Okay, Sunday night you will get. And with this we'll end to this stream. Thank you all. Thank you all. Hope you all have filled the attendance form. Thank you, and see you all tomorrow at 3 p.m. IST on when we have a web development workshop, which is for everyone who want to become a web app developer. So everyone, like, they are like, they don't know anything. They, even if they don't know how to run a computer, only a computer, they have run to log into Facebook. Then also they're invited. Everybody is invited. Want to be a web app developer. We